Here's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour. We are starting off our EKU football position previews, and we're talking running backs and quarterbacks today. That's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour.
McKinney looks, steps into pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes, we're going to play up-tempo, we're going to play with unbelievable passion, and then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.
Welcome in to an all-new edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza, located right across the street from EKU's campus. You can go inside and order. If you mention the Sports Stove podcast, you're going to get $5 off your order of $20 or more. Or if you order online at madmushroom.com, you can just use the code SPORTS5. Get that same discount there as well. Mad Mushroom, feed your head. And we are feeding your EKU football fix today as we kick off the EKU football position preview episodes. And we've got some great guests lined up for you today. And my co-host, Ryan Jackson, will be with me the rest of the shows, but couldn't be with us tonight because, well, he's at Media Day. So traveling today and getting stuff ready for tomorrow's ASUN or whatever they're calling it now. Sorry. But the Media Days, and it's going to be a good time for him down there. Excited for how that goes down there also. So Ryan will be back with us hopefully next week as we continue these previews. But until then, it's just me and the guest. And we're going to get right to the guest today. Our first guest of the evening is the EKU offensive coordinator and running backs coach, Andy Richman. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing awesome. Are you ready to get back to real football? My dog just got loose. Real football?
Yeah. No, it's that time, So it's that time you have in between to get ready and do that stuff, and you kind of get tired of it, and like you said, it's time to actually let's go and do it.
I know it's funny. Coach Wells talked about last year that now with the transfer portal, the recruiting never stops. So you're constantly working, very few breaks and opportunities to relax. But, of course, that would be passed anyhow as we do get to it. First game, by the way, coming up, Cincinnati. Then you got UK right after that. So, you guys got a pretty easy go of it to get things started this year, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're going to be tested. But you know what? Let's go play them. Let's make them have to go beat us, right?
Right, exactly. And, of course, your offense is coming off a year. Last year, you were 10th in total offense. You've got all kinds of good things going for you last year. The offense was clicking in most every game, averaging, if I remember right, 35 or 36 points a game, somewhere in that range last year as well. And what's pretty awesome is you're returning a ton of guys on that offensive side of the ball. What's it like as a coordinator being able to come back with guys, not only, of course, your quarterback, but having running backs, receivers, offensive line, tight end, less experience there as far as returning guys goes, but a lot of returning guys for you.
Yeah, I mean, first it makes you feel comfortable. So you get those guys back and know you can do things, but it's good. We don't have to go really slow or limit our playbook. That was the good thing. I almost feel like we can take off, right from where we ended and add, and that's a good thing when you can do that because these guys understand the offense and the base offense and know what we expect.
And for the first time in your tenure at EKU, some staff changes on the offensive side of the ball. You got a new QB coach, a new tight end coach as well. When you add new staff, does it obviously it takes a little bit of time of just learning each other and them learning exactly what's going on and how it is there at EKU. But does it bring any kind of, I guess, excitement or freshness? Not that it's needed, but freshness to the room as you're working on things for the year?
Yeah, no, it's always good. I mean, it's good to have other ideas, ideas from the outside and some things that they were able to see where they were at that may have worked and not worked and just a different set of opinions and eyes and all that. So I always welcome that. I mean, it's I always told in this business once you stop learning, you're done with it. So I think it's good to keep that, and it has added those guys, and they've brought some different things and different questions and some different ideas to the table already.
I know you guys were itching to get rid of Steelman and McKeithen. No, I'm just kidding. Both of them great guys. They're going to be missed. I know Coach McKeithen, especially, I got a chance to talk with him a few times and always appreciated him. So, but as you're looking at these guys, especially Coach McKeithen, he goes to what most would be considered a better opportunity for him at this time. How exciting is it to see a friend, a guy that you've gotten to know, get that opportunity?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I've known him now for a while, and it's good for him. This is what happens, we were able to do some good things and have some guys achieve some different things, player wise and obviously coaching wise and all that, and it opens up these opportunities for everybody and these guys, and he's worked hard and put in a lot of time to get to what he's wanted to do and be where he's at, and I wish him nothing but success.
Definitely. Let's get into the running backs, though. We are doing position previews, and we could talk offense all night long, but we'll kind of transition over to the running backs. And let's start with the running game as a whole. Last year, the strength was the passing. And, I mean, again, it makes sense with Parker being around now coming into his 6th year as well. But I know, you guys talked about, Coach talked about all last year, just the need for that important of consistency from the running back group. And this year, you got 3 guys coming back, and that talk about consistency. You got 3 guys that have been around. That's kind of nice to have as well. So, in general, how do you like this running back room coming back this year?
Oh man, I love this group. So they're making it hard on me in the sense
That's
of
good.
I know how am I going to find the time and the reps for all these guys, and doing that, But I always tell them that make it hard for me, make me have to make a tough decision on all that, and everything will fall into the place for him. But I mean, Keandre and Braedon's been in for now a while, and Josh obviously coming back now for another year, and he had a real trajectory with improvement last year, so I it almost seems like he's a year older than he even is. So doing that. So I mean, we got 3 guys right there that can definitely do some things. And the good thing about them is that they're very flexible in this offense. We're just not running the ball in the run game. It's obviously in the pass game and protections and that kind of stuff. Some of the dirty work stuff that they got to be able to do too. I'm not looking for a guy that's just a one facet guy. The guys that really thrive, as I think you're seeing in this offense and at that group, is guys that can do all 3 of those things.
A popular term amongst the talking heads is change of pace back. How important is it to have variety in the running back room?
Oh, it is. I mean, it gives that defense some different looks and that defensive coordinator some different looks. It allows me to be able to do some different things at different times and doing that. We've got Keandre with a little bit more straight line and it's probably acceleration at times. We got Josh that's really a hard-nosed runner, but also very smooth at the same time. He's kind of got that make you miss ability that you don't see until all of a sudden it happens. And then Braedon's just the kind of all-around guy that's got everything. So
Braedon last year had a heck of a season. You talked about the versatility, not just in the run game, but in the receiving game as well. 4th leading receiver on the team. Very active in the pass game and in the run game as well. I mean, last year coming into the year, all the talk, the buzz from around, I won't say from within the organization, but especially from the outside looking in, was Braedon Sloan. Like, there was a lot of talk coming into the year. This kid is going to be really good and have a ton of potential to do a lot of great things here. And he proved it last year in the things he was doing. I want to start, though, with the growth aspect. Where do you need to see, or where have you seen Braedon grow as he comes into this next season?
I think not that he was immature, so I don't want to quite say it that way, but I still think the maturation process that he's had, just totally understanding the defenses and what people are bringing at him and what they're trying to do to limit him and that kind of stuff. So I think that knowledge and that maturity that I think that I've seen over this winter going into the spring, summer, going into the season has been something I think he's done a great job of concentrating on and getting better at. And I think where he needs to go. I mean, the secret's out now, right? So, now you got to figure out, how am I going to be able to do all this and more with people knowing what I can do?
Yeah, and I wonder too. I mean, you always hear it. I coach basketball, not football, but the idea of, hey man, getting a guy real game opportunities just helps him grow. And Braedon had a ton of snaps last year, a ton
Yeah.
of opportunity, and so now he gets to build off of that too. And obviously, I mean, we're seeing some preseason recognition. We're seeing a lot of talk about him again from around the program and things like that too. And he's I don't know. I guess last year. I don't know how it was viewed from you guys last year. Again, it's kind of that mentality of people saw him as a guy who was going to steal someone's job last year. It sounded like the program maybe already kind of knew that, was planning on that to a
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
But now he is the guy. Now I know you got other guys that are going to help and all that kind of stuff too. But Braedon's clearly the guy, right?
Yeah. He's clearly the guy, and these other guys are a great supporting cast and are going to push him to be even better and be able to, like I said, they're I got to find reps for them all.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about Keandre next. Keandre's a kid who last year he was disappointed in the outcome of last year of his performance last year to a degree. I've always looked at him, just again, I'm from the outside looking in, but I always looked at him as a great pass catcher, a great guy out of the backfield, catching the ball out of the backfield. And he seemed like a possibility to be a great like return guy or special teams guy as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Keandre that the fans may not understand about him, about the talent that he has?
Man, I tell you, I mean, I think the biggest thing he's done is, I think, exactly like you said, he didn't finish the way he wanted to. I think he took that lesson, and I have seen a level of concentration and wanting to get better from him that I have not seen before.
Mm.
So, I think that's the thing. And what I think people won't understand is I've saw a little bit before, but really saw there is really him being able to take the challenge, that passion that he actually has for the game and the position and wanting to play and doing that and just his willingness to do the extra, to do anything, to find that spot for him, I think, take that role. And some of the things that we talked about he needed to improve on, he's tried to take those things head on here going into this offseason, going into training camp. So I'm really interested to see when this really gets going, what he's going to be able to do and what he's going to be able to get done.
I really like him a lot. He's a good kid. It seems like, again, I don't know him minimally, but and this might be a question for him, but he's got his brother in here as well, comes down the defensive side of the ball. Do you see that helping in any way, or just having that family around and things like that? Does that make any kind of difference?
Yeah, it does for them. They're really close, and I think that has made a big difference for him and made him feel more comfortable. And I think when getting through those tough times, that he had for a little bit, that helped him get through that, and this landscape of everything, going on, when tough times hit, sometimes guys aren't here anymore, so, and I think that's helped him work through that and it's helped him stay and want to be part of the program.
Joshua Carter comes in last year. We didn't see him a whole lot early in the season, but as the season went on, we started to see him more and more and more. An incredible running back. I mean, the kid looks like he's just full of talent and looking to break out as well. Again, second year now with him. You got to know him better over last year, of course. What are you expecting out of Josh this year?
Man, I'm expecting big things. So, I think, like I said, him learning it, if you remember from last year, I mean, he came off, the injury. He was coming from an injury. He actually was playing linebacker at one point.
Yeah.
He just moved over to running back. So, when he got in, it took a little bit. When you're speaking of, it took a little while to get going because he had to find his footing. He just had to find it and get used to the position again and doing that. And I think that's what we saw kind of as the year went. Like I said, that trajectory, all of a sudden, it kind of clicked there for a minute and took a big step, and I think some of his talent, like you said, is I'm really interested to see where he's going to go here, because I think there's a whole lot still underneath there. I totally agree with you, with that, and I'm really excited to see it. He just adds some elements that it's just hard to have and hard to explain, but he's got a great knack for running the football.
Mm. And I talked to him a little bit about this last year when we had him on, but of course his brother's in the NFL, a running back in the NFL. When you see guys come in like that, you guys bring in another guy this year whose brother's a cornerback in the NFL. And do you see those guys? They've obviously seen firsthand what it takes to get to that level. So would it be common to say that, hey, they know what it takes and they come in with a different perspective than other people? Or is it really individual basis where guys have to figure it out for themselves?
I think it is still a little bit at times individual basis, but obviously they do see it. I know the thing that he has with seeing his brother is he has a plan that actually has, like you said, he's actually seen what could be the future and what his brother's going through in the future and what it took him and what it takes him now to be able to do that. So in some facets, as far as, eating and feeling his body to studying in certain ways, the game and the film and all that kind of stuff is a little bit different than some of the other guys because yes, he does have that brother that's doing it and been doing it and is taking some of those things from him, to be able to do that. So he is sometimes on a little bit of a different level that way than compared to some of the other guys. Yes.
What's the main goal this year for the running back room?
Shoot, I want to keep, I always say this, I go with whatever's working with the offense. Right. So, sure. I mean, I would love to have 1,000-yard rusher is what I would love to have. So, yeah. Are we going to be able to do that? I don't know yet. So, sure. Especially with me having to divide up these, because all these guys are going to play at some point. Yeah, going to do that. And I've been a part of other places where we've had a number of guys that can do that and that kind of stuff. It's hard to get to the 1,000-yard mark with all those guys. Then when you do that, and then having Parker in the backfield too back there. So doing that. But if I stick out a lofty goal there, I'd like to see if we can get 1,000-yard rusher. But I just like to see the consistency overall from this group and in the pass game, the protection game, and the run game.
Definitely. I could ask you a ton more questions, but I promise, Rickson, we keep it around 15 minutes each. So, Coach, I really do appreciate your time. I don't take it lightly that you're able to come on and help us out this week. We're looking forward to seeing the guys run this year and see how they do. Looking forward to that offensive line blocking for them as well, and the whole offense. I know it's big expectations, but you guys do a great job of setting those expectations as well from the inside out. So it's not just the fans. You guys set those high expectations too. So, Coach, thank you very much. We'll talk to you hopefully again some point this season. But we sure appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate being on and look forward to talking with you again.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Andy Richman. He's the running back coach and offensive coordinator for EKU. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be with the quarterback coach, Maxwell Smith. Mad Mushroom Pizza is now a proud sponsor of the Sports Stove Podcast. Mad Mushroom, home of the original cheese sticks. Proudly serving EKU's campus, Mad Mushroom offers Colonels amazing pizza, cheese sticks, wings, grinders, and so much more. Next time you visit, tell them the Sports Stove sent you, and you get $5 off any order over $20. Or visit online, madmushroom.com. And when you order, enter the code SPORTS5, and you'll get that $5 off any order over $20. Mad Mushroom, feed your head. Welcome back into the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. And a great conversation with Coach Richman. Always appreciate his time. Now it's time to talk to a new face to at least EKU, not to the area, but nonetheless, quarterback coach Maxwell Smith joins the show now, and we're going to get you unmuted, maybe. There we go. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks for coming on. Nice to meet you. First time we've actually seen each other, so hopefully we'll meet you face-to-face here soon as well. But, again, you're not new to the Central Kentucky area, but how you settling in at EKU?
Oh, I'm settling in great. I'm so glad I've done several other interviews and just raving about being back in this state. Being back here is, something that I was looking forward to doing, and it's been great so far.
Yeah, of course, played it at UK. Also spent 3 years, I believe, at UK as a grad assistant, 2 years at Heidelberg University as the quarterback coach before coming here to EKU. And they start you off with this wild character in Parker McKinney. You can barely control the guy. He's just all over the place and chaotic. But when you get to Parker, what are your thoughts? Of course, you're when you interview for the job and you're preparing to come, you got the job, and now you're coming in. You look at Parker McKinney. What do you see?
A very talented quarterback. The stats speak for themselves. Everything that he's done here at this university has been tremendous, and him coming back is obviously great for our team. He brings so many things to the table, not just his leadership, but his ability to create plays, whether it's RPO game, drop back pass, quick game, play action, whatever it is. He can get it done, and he's a special talent, that's for sure. And I'm glad that he's in my room.
Yeah, it's a good way to break into a new university, having a guy like that in the room for sure. Did he? Again, might be a question for him, but did you see what he was able to experience at the Manning Passing Academy? Did you see him bring back anything from that's going to help this year?
We'll see. Haven't seen too much, but he had a blast at it. I've had, other friends that have coached at it, that have been a part of it, and they, tell me, really how much fun it is, how much you get to learn from the Mannings and all the other guys that are there. But no, it's a great experience for him. He said he had a blast, and hopefully there is little things that he could take from whatever conversations he had and can utilize them this season for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's harder to see the skill part of what you bring back from that. I think it's probably more mental. Would that be true?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Kind of going out there and just kind of showing off their arm talent and letting it rip a little bit. So, just the conversations that he had, hopefully, are more valuable.
Now, outside of Parker, there's not really any college experience on the roster. You got 2 redshirt freshmen, 2 true freshmen there. So how's that room looking right now? Obviously, you've got the veteran in Parker. Not only a veteran, he's basically 45 years old. But you got Parker, who's been around. What's it looking like with the young guys?
It's looking young, I'll tell you. It's young in there. Cam, we invest a lot of reps into him this spring. He did a solid job. And, the biggest thing that was great to see is we took strides, whether it was day by day, week by week, we made strides. Still a long way to go, but, really liking what I've seen this summer and their work ethic and everything and all the time they're investing. And hopefully it pays off this upcoming camp and then obviously into the season. So,
Coach, I just want to say it's refreshing that you're not telling us they're all-stars and they're all these things. Sometimes you get these coaches, and actually the whole EKU staff's pretty good at this, but every now and then you get a coach who and I'm not ever expecting you to say anything bad about these kids, but it's just, you're like, there's no way they're all playing that good. So especially when they're freshmen or sophomores, redshirt freshmen, whatever it may mean. Young is young, and you got to work through some things with that. Is Cam the second guy, or is that battle still yet to be determined?
It's still yet to be determined. Right now we got one guy. We know, everyone knows who that guy is, and then after that, we want to see the guys on our roster compete. That's the big thing. He does have a leg up. Cam is extremely gifted, and he is a dual threat and has those other abilities. But every single day is a competition in our room, and just looking forward to see how he matures and how he does this season.
Now, I don't know. I was trying to think back. I didn't take the time to look up your time at Kentucky as a player, as far as the whole roster situation the whole time you were there. But of course, you went on and played San Diego State as well, correct? Have you been in a situation where there was a clear-cut guy, everyone knew that was the guy, where the competition wasn't for number 1, but it was for number 2?
I don't know, because I feel like everywhere I've been, I was in a competition for the number 1 spot. So we didn't even know who the number 1 guy was, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the number 2 spot, obviously, I always felt like I could be that number one guy. But when it comes to the number two spot, it's different because, that's more subject to change, if you will, through practice. Then, when a starter goes out, he's doing what he does. And if he's playing well, he's going to keep his spot. And then the practice reps are how you determine, who your second, third, and so on are. So
do you having a guy like Parker there, are you able to get more reps in practice to the young guys, or is it really still focused mainly on the ones?
Well, in the spring, that's something we were able to do.
Sure.
Take a little bit off of Parker and invest more time into the young guys. The more reps, the better, especially at our position. They're valuable. You got to get as many as you can, especially when you're talking on 11 on full team reps. That's what quarterbacks need for sure. So,
yeah.
But coming up this season, Parker's gonna get all the reps. Let's
Sure.
You need the reps to continue to develop. As good as Parker's been, he can get better. And the more reps, again, the better he's gonna get.
Are you able to, is there anything, I guess, about your past that's able to help as we're getting ready? You guys are getting ready to face Cincinnati, getting ready to face Kentucky. It's not the first time they've ever faced FCS opponents, but Cincinnati and Kentucky is a little different than Eastern Michigan. And so when you're looking at these games coming up, is your experience at that level able to help at all? Or with Parker and his maturity, it is kind of is what it is?
I think it's a little bit of both. I would like to, you'd like to think that some things that I'm telling my guys is going to help in some capacity.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's going to come down to what you just mentioned, his maturity. He's played a lot of games. I think that's what matters most. Now, if we were trotting a guy out there who hadn't played yet, like one of those freshmen, it's probably a much different story. But, you just got to trust, Parker and the experience that we have on our roster to be able to go out and execute early on in the season with a tough schedule.
Now, of course, we brought you on to talk quarterbacks, but when you're looking around at the talent level that's on this team, you look at the O-line, you look at the running backs, you look at the receivers. I'm really excited about the tight ends. We'll talk about that in a future week as it's going to be a whole new era of tight ends for the team this year. But looking at it from the quarterback perspective, you look at the talent that's there. How does that help you with teaching your quarterbacks even when you have the talent like that around them?
It's vital. Everybody talks about that, tight end being that security blanket. We are a team that, likes to live, in 11 and 12 personnel. That's, what we like to do. We're multiple, and our tight ends need to be multiple and versatile as well. So, looking forward to seeing, what guys can do, some new guys that we brought in, be great battles at that position, for playing time. And, like you mentioned, the whole room is new, and, we got a new coach in there as well. So that's cool too.
When, as a quarterback, you obviously want to be accurate. There's no doubt about that. How often, what's the percentage of have to be accurate versus trust your guy to make a play?
Man, that's a tough question. You want a little bit more of, accuracy all the time, but that guy that can go make a play, it's special. And the more you watch this game, whether it's on Friday night, Saturday night, Sundays, it doesn't matter. The best quarterbacks right now in the game are able to extend plays and put on a little highlight reel here and there. But accuracy is timeless, and you're going to need it on a more consistent basis. I would like to say.
Yeah. Now you talk about extending plays and playmaking, and you get back to Parker. I always gave Coach Wells a hard time because he always kind of undersold Parker's athleticism as a joke, and kind of thing. I was like, man, he got really fast. He's like, well, he got caught, didn't he? So you get to that kind of stuff. But Parker, again, you look at Parker, you don't think just from viewing him, you don't go, oh, wow, great athlete. But the guy can move, and he's in the pocket. He can move. And then when he gets out and runs, he can scoot a little bit too. So how impressed are you being there now, seeing him on the field, seeing Parker as he moves, not just throwing a football?
Yeah, well, not just his athleticism, but the first time that I met him in person, when I watched film, I didn't see, like you mentioned, like a really big guy, really fast guy. Met him in person, and he's even more stocky than I had imagined. like you said, he can scoot a little bit. He had several long touchdown runs. So versatile, and when you have that in your bag, it makes you a weapon, that's for sure, and that's what he is. It'll be vital for us. Hopefully we don't have to run him too much, but he's a gamer. He's just going to go and, he's going to do what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's nice to have that guy, right? That he's
I
willing to do what it takes.
I couldn't do that stuff. So it's fun to watch. Yeah. Once you tuck it and run, just take care of the football. Don't throw across your body and take care of it.
Yeah. And are you able, obviously, I'm sure you are able to use Parker as an example for the young guys. Look at Cam, you talk about his dual threat ability to be able to look at and say, hey, listen, you don't have to depend on your legs all the time. Like, there's a time to run, there's a time to move, and there's a time to stay.
Oh, no question. We're passers first. That's what this offense is. But when it comes time to having to tuck and run and read, you got to do what you got to do. Take care of your body. That's a big thing too. Just, but get what you can, get down, but utilize your legs at all times.
Will this be the first year you've ever coached against Kentucky?
Yeah, it'll be the first time. It'll be interesting. I've never been in that away locker room. I'm not sure the locker room that I had when I played there or what, but it'll be different for sure, and it'll be a good experience. You
still have people on that staff that you know?
Yeah. I people on the staff that I still know, that I worked with, that played for Coach Stoops, Coach Marrow, Frank Buffano. So yeah, there's a lot of ties over there for sure.
I guess I forgot Stoops had been there that long. But yeah, anyways, Coach, we're glad to have you in Richmond, man. We're excited for what's ahead. We know that Parker makes some things easier than others, but we also know that you got a big task ahead of you with getting these young guys ready to go also. And we're excited and cheering you on as you go. It's going to be fun watching you guys get to walk off Kroger Field with that victory in a couple of months. And we're excited about it, though. It's going to be a fun season. And like I said, we're glad to have you. Thanks so much for taking some time for me tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. That's Maxwell Smith, the new quarterback coach at EKU. We're going to take another quick break. When we return, we're going to be talking with running back Josh Carter in just a minute. Does the exterior of your home need a facelift? All Around Roofing has you covered. All Around Roofing is a locally owned company servicing Madison County and all of Central Kentucky. From roof repairs and replacements to gutters, siding, windows, soffits, chimney flashings, and more. All Around Roofing provides quality work and friendly service that will leave your house looking great. Call today, 859-489-5179 to get a free quote. That's 859-489-5179. We can handle your all-around exterior needs at All Around Roofing. Welcome back into the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. You just heard from All Around Roofing and all that storm damage down in Madison County. You need someone to come take care of your siding, your roof, whatever it may be, your windows. All Around Roofing does everything on the exterior, and I promise you, they're a great company, and they have my full confidence. They've done stuff at my house, stuff at our church as well, and I trust All Around Roofing with everything that I've got. So make sure you give them a call if you need exterior work. Of course, they'll work with your insurance company as well and help you out. We like to support local, and so we got a lot of local companies, but nonetheless, we definitely would encourage you to give All Around Roofing a call as well. And then while they're fixing your house, go order some Mad Mushroom Pizza. Use that code SPORTS5 and get you some pizza there as well. Time for our next guest, and it is running back Josh Carter is back with us. Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming back on. And we're doing our running back preview here. We talked with Coach Richman earlier and heard a little bit about the room. Year 2 at EKU for you. What's your, what are you hoping to improve, and what's your goal of advancement this year?
To be a better version of myself. I feel like if I'm being very particular, my pass blocking could definitely use the most improvement. So just working on that, as well as, sharpening my tools, sharpening my strengths right now.
Are you ever able to just, if something does happen and you accidentally miss a block, are you able to just go up to the O-line and be like, hey, guys, come on now?
Hey, look, the goal is to never even have to be in that situation. So,
Yeah.
really just working on that, trying to perfect that crap because,
Yeah.
not everybody can pass block, but that's a very vital part of the being a running back. I feel like, run the ball is probably number one, obviously, but just being able to catch the ball at the backfield and pass block, like that's everything that you would dream of and having a good running back. So just
Yeah,
trying to fit that mold.
it seems like pass blocking is a thing that maybe fans don't notice as much, but I'm sure when you're watching film after a game, the coaches are very quick to point out any missed protection situations, right?
No, 100%. And he gonna run it back a couple of times. Make sure you know, and then make sure you watch it a few times so you never want to make that mistake again.
Yeah, I can hear that. You guys have a veteran group in the room this year. 3 returning guys, yourself, Braedon, and Keandre as well. That consistency of having guys that you were with last year, how positive is that as you come into a new year?
I feel like it's really important because I think we have a really good room as far as everybody's got experience, So I like to call us. Well, I don't call us nothing, but if I were to call it something, it's like a Swiss Army room. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
I feel like all 3 of us bring different aspects of the game to the table, and that can all change the game in a positive way. So as far as just being a deep room, I'm proud. Like I'm really happy to be a part of a room like that. I feel like we're all mature and have enough experience to change the aspect of running game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you bring up maturity, and so this is kind of a deep question, but how are you able to balance being a good teammate, friends with the guys in the room, and being like, "Hey, I want your job"? That competition factor versus balancing the competition factor with the family atmosphere of the team and the room.
I feel like that just takes humility. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's you want to see the person next to you, the person that create strong relationships with. You want to see them succeed as well. You obviously want yourself to succeed. Everybody does. Who doesn't want to be successful?
Right.
But I don't really feel that it's a challenging task because I also want to see everybody get a part of this too. I feel like there's enough for everybody to eat. So I'm not really too. I don't look at it as a negative thing. If anything,
Sure.
I feel like that helps me. It motivates me to see other people doing good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the right mindset to have. And sadly, not everybody has that mindset. But to be able to see, hey, this is actually good for me, to have good teammates, to have talented teammates, that's good
Right.
for me. It's good when they succeed. It's good when I succeed because that means the team's succeeding, right?
Right. Sure. Everybody likes to win. Nobody likes no loser. So, you know, as long as everybody winning, then there's no really too much to complain about.
Yeah. You guys have a large majority of your O line returning as well. So that's another thing where you've got, some continuity there also. When you look at those guys in front of you that are blocking for you, what are you seeing from that group this year?
I'm seeing improvement.
Hmm.
I'm seeing everybody as far as like our older offensive linemen like Peyton or Josiah, they're starting to get more comfortable as far as they're starting to learn themselves to be the highest potential that they can be. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everybody's working, everybody's going all out. Just I feel like as far as this offensive line unit, everybody's starting to figure themselves out. Like, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, and I know these are my weaknesses. So let's try to correct that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everybody, again, it goes back to maturity. Like everybody's willing to accept the fact that if they are responsible for something, they take responsibility for it, change it real quick.
Yeah.
It makes the game go faster. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Now, you guys lost some real veteran leadership this past year. Of course, Dak graduating out, Tucker graduating out, those kind of guys. You still have Parker, of course, around. But how has the locker room stepped up as far as leadership goes, losing some of those veteran guys?
I feel like as far as leadership in the locker room, this team is definitely one of the closest teams that I've been a part of. Like,
Hmm.
everybody hangs out with each other. So that kind of grows into the part of wanting to see everybody succeed. You know what I mean?
Right.
You want to see people that you see every day and have good relationships with succeed, and that helps you succeed. So I feel like that's a general understanding as we have right now, and people are just outside of success. You know what I mean? Like people are genuinely concerned with everybody. You know what I mean? As far as
Yeah.
hey, how you doing? Like just checkups that regular person wouldn't do for somebody. You know?
Hmm. You're not the first person to actually say that about this year's team, about how close everybody is and how everybody gets along really well, which is always exciting to hear. You guys also on the defensive side of things, you lost a very vocal player in Matt Jackson. Has anybody replaced the loudness at practice that Matt left?
That's funny you say that, but you know, I felt everybody's been pretty loud. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
everybody's excited. You know, so
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't do anything but turn up the excitement, if anything.
Yeah. You start off the season with two huge games at Cincinnati, at Kentucky. You get an opportunity not just to play Power 5 opponent, but that means that there's going to be more eyes on it as well. When you look at the opportunities to go to a place like Cincinnati, go to a place like Kentucky, how does that bring more excitement to the start of the year? I mean, you're always excited to start the year, but having those kind of opponents to start off the year, does that amp everything up a bit?
Look, you just brought that up. You almost made me cuss. Oh, man.
This is a family-friendly show, Josh.
My fault. But yeah, it brings a lot of excitement. It brings a lot of excitement. I think we always felt like we've had a very talented group of men. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the fact that we're getting more eyes on the game that we're playing and more eyes on our team, I feel that's going to bring more recognition later on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know that could lead to a wide spectrum of opportunities that we might not be having right now, you know?
Definitely. And, especially that second game of the year, I know you're supposed to look at one game at a time. I get that. But second game of the year against Kentucky. So I grew up in Tennessee, in Murfreesboro, where Middle Tennessee State is. And I remember when they went to Vanderbilt for the first time in a long time, and just the excitement from that program. And then they went in and beat Vanderbilt. And I know Kentucky's not Vanderbilt. We won't start calling Kentucky names. But the opportunity for you guys to be the Kentucky school this year, by beating the University of Kentucky. I don't know. I know you're not from Kentucky, so I don't know how much that matters to you or not. But it's kind of a pretty cool opportunity for the school to go up there and take a shot at what I guess everyone would consider to be the big school in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, you know. But I feel like to me it's just a game, man. You know, I don't really look at it as. I mean, obviously there's more eyes going to be on the game for sure, and winning that game can mean a lot for our program as far as attendance, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And that could mean and that's very possible, you know. But me personally, I just feel like it's a game of football that I got to prepare for.
Yeah. Well, and Coach Wells does a good job with you guys on keeping you focused and things like that. But I'll use his phrase and the phrase that you guys have adopted when it comes to that EKU Kentucky game. It's a matter of pride, and it's a great opportunity for the university. And I really hope that EKU fans show out at that game too, and we see a large maroon contingent on that Saturday on the road.
I want to see them there.
Yeah, they can't complain if they don't show up, right?
Right.
That's my rule. Oh man, I love it. Josh, you got a year coming up now. You picked up opportunity throughout the year last year. You got more reps as the year went on. Now you come in, I'm assuming fully healthy. Of course, you were healthy last year, but you were coming off an injury. How you feeling? I mean, are you feeling great shape? Are you feeling confident in where you are right now physically?
Of course. I feel great right now. You know, it was a long road to recovery, but I feel like I've hit all my milestones, did everything I needed to do, take care of my body extra every day, you know, making sure that I can prevent injury instead of healing an injury, you know?
Right.
So I feel like I'm at the point now where I just feel good. I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood, but I feel confident in my body right now. I feel confident in just the preparation, the more maturity that I feel like I've grown from the whole experience of coming back, so
Yeah.
I'm
I asked
glad.
Coach Richman this, but what would you say would be a goal for the running back room as a whole this year?
I want to see 20 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
You got to get the ball in the end zone. I feel like this year is going to be a big improvement from last year's run game. So I feel like now that we have so many players that could really contribute to success, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like it's very, very easily possible. Very easily possible. And I feel like that's the main thing I want to see from us, because, they're going to keep giving us the ball if we keep scoring touchdowns,
That's right. Yeah, it's hard to take it out of your hands in that case, right?
I know it.
I love it. Josh, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the season ahead. You guys, like I said, have an incredibly tough schedule this year, but I know you guys are ready for it and continue to prepare for it as well. We really do appreciate some time from you today, and see you out on the practice field at some point here this summer as well. But looking forward to the season ahead, man. Good luck to you and your second year here at EKU, and looking forward to big things from you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. That's Josh Carter, running back at EKU. Man, I love it. 20 touchdowns will be awesome. Coach Richman said we need a 1,000-yard rusher. That'd be awesome. There's a lot of good things coming from the EKU offense this year. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this position preview and a few other quick notes that's going on in the EKU sports world as well. Here's a quick word from IPM Pest and Termite.
With over 20 years of experience, Matt Schaefer and the good folks at locally owned IPM Pest and Termite provides pest control service for all of Central Kentucky's pest control needs. Whether you have a current pest control problem or want to prevent infestation from ever entering your home, IPM Pest and Termite offers maintenance programs that will help keep pests out of your home and provide peace of mind. So for dependable, reliable services that you can count on, get in touch with our good friend Matt Schaefer at IPM Pest and Termite today at myipm.com. That's myipm.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. And we also have great other partners in the program. It's all around roofing and IPM Pest and Termite. If you're a business owner in Madison County and you'd like to be a part of our program, reach out to us at thesportstove@gmail.com. We'd be happy to add you in as well. Like I said earlier, Ryan Jackson will be co-hosting with us throughout the rest of this summer and hopefully doing some stuff with us throughout the season as well. And but he's down at Media Day, and he's got that tomorrow. So busy tonight as they got traveling down there and getting everything ready for tomorrow. So excited to have Ryan back with us. We'll ask him his thoughts on the quarterbacks and running backs when he's with us next week as well. We'll also be moving on to our next position group. We'll get a defensive group in next week as well. Same thing, position coaches, and we'll get a player on also to discuss. There is other news going on, though, in the EKU sports world. First of all, big congratulations to Will King, catcher for EKU baseball, getting drafted by the Braves in the Major League Baseball draft. Excited for him and the opportunity that goes. Of course, his throwing partner from last year was drafted by the Yankees last year, Will Bryan, and now Will King goes as well as an incoming freshman getting drafted this year as well by the Tigers. And then in the basketball world, Ambrose Mosley getting promoted up to an assistant coach on the men's basketball team. Looks like he's taking Patrick Blake's spot there. And so congratulations to him as well. Of course, he has a long history with Coach Hamilton and a great opportunity for him. I know the team really likes him. And Coach Hamilton is a big fan of his as well. So excited to see that promotion there also. We got big things going on. Season tickets on sale now for all kinds of EKU sports. Make sure you're calling and getting set up with the games and get out there and support. We talked about this with Josh. We got this big game at Kentucky, and we know people are excited about it. Well, you need to get there. You need to wear maroon. You need to burn your blue and wear maroon. Get out there and be at Kroger Field, be heard, and support EKU. Get up to Cincinnati. That's not too long of a drive. Get up there as well and support the Colonels there. There's a chance that me and my dad are going to be at Cincinnati. My dad lives in Ohio, so he might come down, and then I might go up, and we'll meet up there at the game. But anyways, there's that, of course. And then the home games. You got to be there. You got to get out there, support them early, support them often, and excited to see the things that are ahead. Big thanks to Coach Andy Richman for coming on. Coach Maxwell Smith, and, of course, running back Josh Carter as well for their time tonight. Thank you to Rickson and the university for getting all that set up for us as well. I'll let you know we got other shows going on here at the Sports Stove Podcast. Every Sunday night, we go live at 8 p.m. It's a fantasy baseball show. Every Wednesday night, we're live at 8 p.m., and that is my dad joins me for that one. We just talk all things major sports, so we go professional sports and college sports as well. We're doing college football previews there. We did the Big 12 last night. We're going on to the ACC next Wednesday. So you can tune in live right here at the Sports Stove Podcast YouTube page, or you can always catch the audio version afterwards as well. That's all I got for today. Thanks for tuning in. I can't believe we made it. I had a dog get loose in the middle of it. We got a puppy, and I thought that was going to be a nightmare, but she's doing a really good job. Good job, puppy. Thanks for tuning in, though. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being good listeners today. If you like the episode, share it. Let someone else know about it. If you know other EKU fans, make sure they're aware of the show. We greatly appreciate it. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you don't mind giving us a rating on the podcast version, 5-star ratings really help us out. So we'd appreciate that as well. Follow us on social media at Sports Stove. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.
McKinney looks, steps into pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes. We're going to play up-tempo. We're going to play with unbelievable passion. And then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.